What's up? Man, I was sitting here driving and I'm thinking, I apologize for the camera swaying back and forth, but that's because I'm driving. But I was sitting here thinking, man, and I wanna ask y'all. You know, I know. I mean, if y'all watch my videos, y'all know that I don't usually post stuff that that I can't back up with tangible evidence, and I've told y'all before, you know, if you ever needed to, or if you ever questioned anything that I said or anything, you just inbox me and message me, and I'll send you the evidence or the proof that I have to for you to become for you to believe what I'm saying, you know. But I want y'all to think about something. This is something I do not have tangible proof, but it's something that is so logical. I mean, I can't understand how people are not thinking of this and realizing this. And first, like, I mean, I know, you know, I mean, if you watch people like Brian Two's videos, you're very aware that that he's talked to doctors and stuff that's worked on this program, and he has a lot of very, very useful information and a lot of knowledge on this computer program, this brain to computer interface program. And he'll tell you, and I know from experience that he's telling the truth. And I'm pretty sure if you're a legit targeted individual, you're aware that he's telling the truth when he says any brainwaves that are produced by any brainwaves that are produced can be reproduced and injected into any targeted individual at will. The brain, our brains, all human brains, produce electrical signals that go to our nerve endings, and that is measured in millivoltage, and it's really, really, really foolish to believe that these there's a bunch of beliefs on how these signals are produced when they're injecting it back into you, but regardless of however it's produced, I'm not trying to argue that point, but however it's produced, when it's injected back into our bodies, it's pretty foolish to believe that these, whatever it is that produces these signals, whether it's cell phone towers or satellites, or I don't care if it's a cell phone or TVs, like some people say, but regardless of however it's produced, it's pretty foolish to believe that they are only restricted to reproducing millivoltage. And that's foolish, man. If they can master this reproduction of electrical signals, I guarantee you they can master the reproduction of any electrical signal. Anyone, anything. I've had things that run off of AC voltage, like that you plug into the wall, things that have stopped working and started working again, and it stops the Wi-Fi signals and the Bluetooth signals, so I don't think they're doing that with millivoltage, so why don't people grasp the concept that if it can produce these signals, it can produce any signal? Therefore, try to grasp this. Anything, okay? Even going to the extent of reproducing the electrical signals of the radiation that is put into people's body to stop cancer, or anything, that's just one thing that I just thought of, while I was driving. It obviously can stop or halt from progressing any kind of disease, because obviously it has to be capable of reproducing the electrical signals that are produced by your organs, every organ, not just your brain, every organ. So if cancer were to start in your body from, say, your kidney, it starts growing in your kidney, it has to produce an electrical signal for that to start reproducing and growing. I'm not very knowledgeable about diseases, so if I'm wrong, don't ridicule me. Don't beat me down. Just shed a little light and help me understand exactly where I'm missing this at. But I feel like they can reproduce anything. I know for a fact they can manipulate your body into getting common colds and stuff like that, because it does that to me all the time, and to give you diarrhea and all kinds of stuff, common stuff. But I'm talking about stuff that's not so common, like for example, like I said, cancer, or because it can reproduce any brainwaves, like Brian says, because I know for a fact it manipulates my beliefs, my belief system, whether I believe something or whether I don't. It can make you believe something or make you disbelieve not believe in something. That's a fact. And that's not the only thing. It's manipulated my intuition, which I thought only God could communicate with me through intuition. And when it first started doing this, it showed it to me, and it specifically started calling it speaking without speaking. In other words, I've understood exact to the T, letter for letter, full sentences, multiple sentences at a time without hearing one verbal word. So if it can manipulate all this stuff, why can it not create disease? I guarantee you they got a cure for AIDS. I promise you they can. Whatever in your body produces the disease or whatever, whatever gets rid of it, should I say. That's all they got to do is reproduce that, and it's foolish to think that they can only reproduce millivoltage. I've been, believe it or not, I've been mutilated. I've had inside of my finger, it didn't do it like on the outside of my finger where I could see it, but I felt the inside of my finger getting really, really hot for several days, almost a week. And then finally I saw something that looked like an ant bite, and I messed with it with a stick pin or something. I don't remember what it was, but all of a sudden pus started coming out. It literally cooked the inside of my finger without messing with the outside. I could not see anything on the outside, nothing, until it was all done. And that's actually happened twice. But there's another thing I want to put out there that's really crazy, okay? And this is something else I don't have tangible proof, but I was building a house when I first started working when I was younger, and I had a nail stick in my eye. And what really made me start thinking about this is I cannot throw a dart and hit a bullseye, but this nail stuck directly in the middle of my pupil, and that struck me as odd. So I started thinking from that point on, and more than likely I can guarantee you that it was this brain to computer interface program behind the process of me thinking about all this and convincing me of this. But it does make sense, I can't lie, so I know it magnetizes anything. It's magnetized spit in my throat. It's magnetized. I've had magnets stick to my body. When I brought it up to the ambulance driver, whenever they came to put me in a mental hospital, they took a magnet and stuck it to their body. If you have any common sense, human beings are not magnetized. We don't, magnets don't stick to us, but it did. It stuck to even them. And to show you how powerful they are at convincing people, the ambulance driver tried to convince me that was normal. But anyway, getting back to what I'm telling you about the nail sticking in my eye. So, I went through surgery, all kind of surgeries, man. Cornea transplant, lens implant, a whole bunch of surgeries. So anyway, one day I was sitting outside and it was messing with me, and I'm legally blind in that eye. But all of a sudden, this gray haze I seen it move away from the center of my eye, and I could see like nothing had ever happened to my eye. I could see perfect again. And then it was messing with me, telling me, how it controlled all my body, and it dictated whether I see or not, and that's what it can do to me. I couldn't do nothing about it. And then when it was finished messing with me, the the haze, like smoke. It looked like smoke colored, went back in front of my eye, and it's back to like how I thought I was because of the accident. But obviously I'm not, And man, that I could go on and on and on, about holograms I've seen, and some people tell you that it's projected in your eye and stuff. But I have trouble believing that. If anybody can help me understand this, I had saw a hologram of an army guy in the backyard at my mother's house. Took a picture of it, and it was on the camera. So I know it wasn't projected in my eye. And then on top of that, when I wanted to save it and keep it, all of a sudden this V2K tells me that I better delete it or it's going to take care of it. And I look at the camera. This camera is not connected to no Wi-Fi. It is not connected even to a charger. It has batteries in it. It does have a USB port, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi capabilities. I looked at the screen on the camera, and the picture looked as though it were watercolors and somebody poured water on it. It was all like smeared, just like the watercolors had just ran down the picture. I thought it was ruined. I deleted the picture, but I wish I wouldn't have. But that shows you how, I don't know, I can't explain how it looked like that or how it did that when it wasn't connected to anything. It does not have Bluetooth capabilities. This is an old school camera, but how did it do that to the pictures, to the picture? And was it done intentionally to make me delete it, to think that it was ruined? I don't know. But if y'all can help me understand that, please help me. Tell me what experience y'all had. But yeah, that's crazy, man. How it can make me, I don't know if this gray haze or whatever's in front of my eye that makes me think I'm legally blind. I don't know if it's projected onto my eye. If a doctor would know about it, if they could to look with their tools or their stuff they use to give you glasses, if they could see it. I don't know. I don't know what I would need to prove that that's going on, because they do shit like this and make you put shit like this out there. Don't get me wrong. Everything that I'm saying right here, I know it's influenced by this computer, and I don't know why it wants me to put this out here. But if I don't, it keeps on with this looping pattern, and it comes with different ways and different scenarios on what to do and what to say, because I've been fighting the urge to do this the whole ride here, and it's been over an hour and a half. But I finally gave in. Now I'm realizing that. But anyway, that just shows you the shit they do. I mean, I know it's this brain to computer interface is behind me putting all this out. But anyway, I mean, I hope that it doesn't turn into torture for y'all targeted individuals that see this. If it does, I'm truly sorry. That's not my intention. But I would really like some information to help me understand these things and give me your input. Do you think that this is really capable of all this stuff that I'm thinking? I mean, that's just crazy. It blows my mind. If you can help me, I truly appreciate it, man. Inbox me. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.